All right, what's going on, boyos? You are joining me for some squatting today because somebody called me out and pointed out that I have not been documenting my back squat training much. Those of you who follow along know that I did nothing but front squats last training cycle in an effort to kind of repattern how I approach my squatting. I don't recommend this to people. Generally, when people spend time away from back squatting, they think, oh, I'm gonna do nothing but front squats because front squats are hard and then I'll be super strong when I come back to back squats. You get good at what you practice. Generally, every time I've talked to someone who has taken this master plan, they have come back to back squatting surprised by how much weaker their back squat feels. So I knew coming in that I would see some level of regression in my back squat strength. Lo and behold, that happened. And so the goal of this training cycle is to build my way back up to respectable back squatting prowess. I generally back squat on the SSB. Yes, I know that's kind of lame. It makes it hard for you guys to like conceptualize whether numbers are impressive or not impressive because many people don't have access to an SSB. I do think straight bar squats are cooler. I just have very poor shoulder mobility, which I will have to fix at some point if I want to do another powerlifting meet for fun, do a contest with Max or something, see if I can give him a run for his money. But for the time being, it doesn't really make sense to potentially stress my wrists, shoulders, elbows, biceps, out for a motion that I don't compete in, right? For strongman, squatting is an auxiliary motion. There's no reason to pick an auxiliary motion that's going to impair your actual competitive motions. So I generally just do my back squats on the SSB. I think the SSB is a really good pick for strongman because it's trying to pitch you forward the whole time. It's gonna build up a lot of mid-back strength. And I think a lot of the time, back strength is a little bit more important than quad strength in strongman. Not to say that quad strength isn't very helpful, but the combination of the two is necessary. It's not like weightlifting where squatting is best done to develop the quads, right? Because that's the sole goal. Whereas you could say squatting is more of a full body auxiliary motion for strongman. So having a little bit more forward lean, a little bit more of a back emphasis can be a solid pick. At my best, I would say my peak condition as far as squatting was when I hit 600 for 10 on the SSB. Speaking generally, 1RM squat isn't the most important thing in the world for strongman. I think you can make a very strong argument that squat for reps heavy is more relevant because you're training your energy systems to output force for a full minute. Because if you can do a hard ass 1 minute set of squat, most events you can go do with a 1 minute time cap aren't going to be that much harder. It's very difficult to, rep a squat out for a minute. So I think it can build up your energy systems in that regard, builds up a lot of musculature that helps a whole lot of events. So I generally focus on trying to develop my squat prowess for reps, although I would like to hit a heavy single once I feel like I'm back in good condition. I'll probably take a couple of weeks to handle submaximal singles, get skilled at doing a single, which it's been a very long time since I was skilled at doing singles because my focus has been on reps. But the main goal for this block is to get back at least a reasonable squatting prowess. The reason I haven't been documenting it is because I do not have a reasonable squatting prowess back yet. I'm not doing anything I find very impressive. If anything, I think it's a little embarrassing what I've been doing, but I figured that could be a fun little YouTube series is documenting my return to a good condition in back squats. So we just started the strength phase this week. I believe my weight on the bar is something like 520 today, so nothing super heavy. Gonna put in some good work. I filmed the first couple things I did. I did some calf raises, which I always do for my ankles. Let's see, I filmed some TKEs, which have been really helpful for keeping my patellar tendons healthy. I ran through some mobility, and then I did some front planks to try to get my bracing primed for these back squats. And then the thing that I'm trying today, aside from just putting in my volume on the squats, as I have been doing, is I might superset some of my sets of the back squats with some back extensions. It feels like with the time I spent front squatting, the motor pattern is very much sit straight down, driving the knees forward and out, maintaining upright posture. You're not hinging into the motion much at all. And I feel like in my return to back squatting, I'm underutilizing my hip extensors. So doing fairly easy sets of 8 on back extensions between sets just to kind of prime my hip extensor pattern, I think will make these feel less shitty than they have the last couple weeks, where I have been trying to use the same motor pattern I do for front squats. Aside from that, probably going to do some core work today. Got a little plate-loaded leg extension hamstring curl that I'm going to be using for a little bit of isolation volume. Aside from that, I think that's the plan for the days. Just trying to build up some momentum on the squats. We'll see how it goes. Oh, shit. Yeah. Okie dokie. Here's a perfect example. We're calling a little bit of an audible here. So the plan I had coming in for today was to take 520 pounds for 2 sets of 5 and 1 set of 8 to 10. Definitely think I could get that done today. As last week I hit 500 pounds for 2 sets of 6, 1 set of 8, all were fairly comfortable. So the logical progression today was to drop a little bit off those presets, push the top set a little harder, and try to secure a good rep set. That being said, now that I'm here, it feels as though I've got some mechanics of what I'm doing with, like, as far as externally rotating my femurs, where I'm sitting in my feet. Long story short, I think it would be more beneficial on a set-to-set basis to hit pause squats today. So I think what I'm going to do is take these planned top weight for a top set, but with pauses. I have no idea what that will look like reps-wise. Obviously, it'd be less, especially if I'm doing an okay job with the pausing, but I'm gonna hit that top weight for a pause set, drop back by about 10% of my all-time best SSB squat. So drop back by about 70 pounds. And then hit 2 back off sets also with pauses. I just feel like there's some mechanics with what I'm doing as far as when I reach depth. Am I kind of passively sitting further into my quads, or am I equally externally rotating and trying to load that weight into the glutes and adductors? And I think that pushing some higher intensity pause squats will be what I need to do today to be better next week. And then we also have pause squats later this week as well, or I'm not sorry, not pause squats. We've got front squats, so I'll still be practicing that kind of bounce rebound mechanic. It's not like it's devoid from this week, but that is what my intuition tells me would be a better use of today. Less cool, because I kind of wanted to do 520 for 10, 80 pounds off my best set of 10, obviously, so not great by that regard, but I figured it would be like a decent set that would kind of bring me some mental momentum to get back on the right track. But it's better to do what you should do to get better rather than what you want to do to show off where you are. So we're gonna get after it. Okay, cool. 520 for 8 to 10 on regular squats was the main goal for the day, but with some presets. I still kind of like that number, so I hit it, paused without presets. Definitely could have done that, could not have done that with presets. So I'm gonna back off to 450 pounds, hit 2 submax sets, and then we're done squatting for today. Yeah. Oh.